Eutrophication, it is a concept in which the large amount of nutrients they have inserted in the aquatic substances. That nutrient, though it is a required or though they are necessary for the growth of the fishes, for the growth of the aquatic material, but at a certain limit they shows the excessive their deposition. They cover here the whole aquatic system, and automatically when the excessive nutrient they are inserted in water, at that time they grows the algae. Maximum algal blooms they are appearing to grow in the aquatic ecosystem. These nutrients they have inserted in the fishes also, they are grow, but their excessive growth they are responsible to reduce the lifespan, and these algae they are cover the whole aquatic surface slowly. Therefore, which aquatic ecosystem they grow inside the water, automatically the upcoming sunlight they are get blocked, and this excessive nutrient they cause the harms to the animals which are grows inside their aquatic region. Here, that eutrophication concept it leads to the excessive addition of the nutrients. Now the thermal power. The thermal power of water is caused due to rise in temperature of the water. That the main source of thermal pollution are the thermal and the nuclear powers of the plant. The power plant use water as a coolant and release the hot water. As many organisms are sensitive to temperature, that is sudden rise in temperature, they affect the loss of the flora, they affect the loss of the fauna also, because that global temperature definitely affect the number of the decreasing animal species and plant species, because some animal and some plant requires to grow the low temperature. This biomagnification here, this diagram you are observing, that is the biomagnification. It is the process where the concentration of substance of a toxin or pollutant they may be increased as it move up to a food chain through a different trophic level. This means that the organism at a higher level like the predator accumulate the higher concentration of the substances in their tissues. Here we are observing that the concentration of the substances they are increasing in this food chain, that is the biomagnification. Now come towards the solid waste management. As we know that here the waste management it is one of the big problem on the earth surface, and therefore we have isolated the liquid waste and solid waste, hospital waste, the iron waste, metal waste, because we are going to reutilize waste. The plastic waste it is one of the big problem now on the earth surface, because plastic is only we can be used in the recycle manner. Not a single organism is present still on earth's surface that is having capacity to degrade the plastic. The polyblend is one of the concept in the Bangalore is get used to recycle the plastic waste, because the maximum roads have been done with the help of the plastic, and they are get recycled by preparing the roads, because they are automatically reduce the plastic pollution. Here this diagram you are observing, that is which are the solid waste in day to day life also, that we are getting separated in the form of the metals, plastic, glasses, papers, some vegetable solid waste also. But that vegetable waste is having a capacity again by the degradation process that can be reused. But these things that we cannot be get reused, that when still up to that goes to the factories and get recycled by after the liquid formation, the new production from that takes place. Now that is a big concept, that is the greenhouse effect and the global warming. It is a big question for, arise because of the deforestation and whole world now today that facing these two problems, that is the greenhouse effect as well as the global warming. Why this greenhouse effect takes place, why the global warming is there? This greenhouse effect that leads to increasing temperature of the earth day to day. How it is get possible? The human interference, it is a big reason. Deforestation, it is a big reason. Because of the deforestation, automatically the rainfall get decreased. Due to increasing number of vehicles, the waste in the form of the CO2 that also accumulated in nature from the industries, waste gets accumulated in the air. The CFC from the ACs, refrigerator, they are accumulated in the air, and these whole things indirectly affect on the global warming. That is, increase the temperature of the earth. The maximum accumulation of the CO2 that shows the global temperature is get increased day by day. Now here, this diagram shows how the globe at the initial stage in the geological time scale we have observed how many millions of the species plants shows on the earth surface, and now in this era how many number of the species and animals still remain on the earth surface. Here, that affecting the global warming. This effect is because of the increasing temperature. Now the ozone depletion. First, we should know what is the role of the ozone. That layer, protective layer present surrounded by the earth, troposphere, stratosphere, and in this stratosphere region, here the one protective region present in the form of the ozone. The role of ozone is that which are the ultraviolet radiations coming from the sun, they are protected that, and this protection is useful for the human because if that ultraviolet radiation directly reach to the earth surface, the person leads to the skin cancer, and that percentage is increases in human. That is the conclusion takes place with the help of the many skin specialists. This protective layer, it get the hole. The scientists have observed the some holes are appearing for this ozone layer, and because of the ultraviolet radiation directly comes towards the earth surface. How they are going to protect? Which are the sources present on the earth surface? They are going to release the substances, they break the ozone, the CFC, the chlorofluorocarbon which released from the AC, which released from in our household refrigerator, these substances, the CO2, SO2, NO2, these all the substances they are affecting and leads to the breaking of the ozone. Now come towards here the deforestation reason, the causes of deforestation and how to prevent the forest. The overpopulation, it is a one of the major reason. The fire takes place on the forest region, the lagging, timber production, mining, the agriculture expansion. These are the reasons of the deforestation. D means the here removal, the cutting of the forest in the large number of deforestation takes place. As we know that near about the 33% all over the India we are considering that forest is present, but now that number is not remain, that number is slowly goes on the decreasing. The which are the awareness takes place for the plantation from government, the education in the form of the environment subject, reforestation, preparation of some rules and regulations, and awareness about the eco-friendly concept. Because instead of the diesel, instead of the petrol, here the biodiesel concept come in existence. That is, biodiesel is prepared from the jatropha plants, and they are indirectly preventing the burning of the fuels. The use of the paper, the maximum use of paper, waste of paper, they are showing that forest, the wood, from wood we are going to use these papers, and if that will be get preserved automatically, indirectly, nature preserves the plant. Here, this also shows the affection of the deforestation, that is the biodiversity of the animal plant species get lost, climate it will be get changed due to the soil erosion, maximum soil erosion takes place and soil degradation takes place. Here the deforestation disturbs the groundwater, because the roots of the plant is having capacity to absorb the maximum groundwater, and loss of forest, they shows here the groundwater percentage will be get reduced, the economical and social impact is also affected. Now the Mission Harit Maharashtra, this abhiyan it is initiated by the state government, and their aim is that to reconserve the 33% forest, and the one person one plant, this aim has been proposed during this Mission Harit Maharashtra. The maximum varieties of the wildlife plant the government has declared for the whole people, that is they are going to plant the along the roadside plantation, it is also necessary because that is one of the method of the conservation. The plantation is only one way. If you have to protect the globe, you have to plant the trees. This is about the biodiversity and conservation chapter, which are the some examples related to that ask in the exam. How many biogeographical regions present in the India? As we know that here the four biogeographical regions we have shown. Lime is added to the soil, which is related, showing the acidic, that is the pollution, industrial waste, if that will be inserted the soil become the acidic. Which one of the following has a maximum genetic diversity in India? That is the mango. Which one of the following area in India shows the hotspot of biodiversity? That is the Western Ghat. The Darwin finches, it is one of the example of a industrial melanism. That chapter or that question is from the origin and evolution also. Which one of the following is an example of ex situ conservation? Here, that is the seed bank. Which of the following is not observed? It is the hot spot. That is the species richness, accelerated species, and laser intercompetition. That is the species richness. Now the next question, that is the sacred groves which are useful in conserving rare and threatened species. D option. The term alpha diversity refers to, that is a species diversity. The percentage of forest or recommended by the National Forest Policy. 37% for plants and 63% for the hills. Here the 11. Select the correct statement about the biodiversity. That is Western Ghat have a very high degree of species richness. Now 12th, biodiversity geographical area. Here that represent the diversity in an organism in living region. The global warming it can be controlled by the reducing deforestation. Which one of the following is not useful for ex situ plant conservation? These questions are asked for the NEET exam also. That is the 13th number, reducing the deforestation, and 14th number, the ex situ conservation method. That is one of the shifting cultivation. Which of the following represent maximum number of spacing among the global diversity? This question is again asked in the NEET examination. That is the fungal region. That is the fungi. Yeah. This is about the biodiversity, conservation, and the environmental issues. I have tried my level best to explain the some concept related to this chapter. Thanks for this organizing committee. Thank you.